Professor Barry, my name is Caesar, and I'm going to go ahead and present the class briefly, my audience. Okay. Imagine yourself working on a tedious task from work or for school for 5 days, not getting any rest at all. And you find yourself meek and not a drop of adrenaline in your body left. You slowly approach the finishing line on this task, very important, daunting task. And as you finish up with the last punctuation mark, all of a sudden, a message appears on your screen. It says the following message, and I quote, "The system process C, Windows, System 32, terminated unexpectedly. The system will now shut down and restart. Ladies and gentlemen, you have officially been infected by the nasty but famous Melissa virus. By the time you receive this error message, the virus has already recoded the MBR, known as the master boot record, which basically holds the instruction set to properly start Windows. In a nutshell, your computer is as good as a 6-pound paperweight, and all the data is severely damaged and or lost completely." So at this point, we're left with a very important question. How can we prevent this from happening to us individually? Well, I've devised 5 key steps, 5 keys to prevent this from happening. Number 1 is implementing a very robust antivirus. Examples of which could be Norton, which come preloaded with several new systems to this day. Yeah, other options such as AVG, Avast, Kaspersky, basically offer the same services. Okay. The second key is installing an on-guard firewall software program. An example of this could be, shall we say, ZoneAlarm. But there's several different manufacturers, so it's important to have an antivirus as well as a firewall. Okay. The third important thing that I strictly emphasize is enabling Windows updates. Windows updates is imperative because if you don't have the latest version of Windows updates, there may be a security threat that your computer is actually vulnerable to. Okay? Those 3 examples are known as intrinsic viral protection methods because they can and should be automated for better security. Okay? The 4th and 5th methods are what I call proactive viral protection methods because they employ the user's ability to prevent potential attacks and include not opening unsolicited emails. Number 4. Okay. Number 5 is quite simply scanning any external file that is shared to you. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate this. For example, Susie wants to share her music file. It's on an external thumb drive. Well, she wants to share it with Alex. Well, what should Alex do in order to protect himself from potentially harming his system? Well, we have right here this unit, and I'm going to demonstrate which steps you should take. For lack of having the thumb drive, I obviously have right here this huge 1800s external floppy disk drive. We're going to insert it into the USB port, as you can see. Okay, and instantly Windows detects it. It's going to prompt us if we want to open it, but obviously that would be the mistake. We don't want to open it. We want to first go into the Start menu, go into My Computer, and then we have several different options. We want to go ahead and select the directory that refers to the external floppy disk drive, which in this case is 3.5 floppy A, colon. We're going to go ahead and right-click on there, and a menu will appear, which will give us the option to scan with the particular antivirus that we have installed. In this case, I've got AVG. So we're going to go ahead and scan that real quick just to make sure it's safe. And if everything's fine, then I think we're pretty much confident to go ahead and share those files with our hard disk drive. So at this point, it's actually stating that there's no threats found, and sure enough, there was no issues at all. And just like that, it's just that easy to protect your system. Viruses are given their name not only because they obviously cause initial damage, but most importantly because it is their very nature to propagate and spread out exponentially onto other PCs. Because of this inherent trait, it is imperative to follow those 5 keys. And ultimately, with that demonstration, you should ultimately protect your system very well. Okay? The duration of this process, obviously, that you saw correlates to how big that file is. If it's a large file, it's going to take a while for it to scan. The small file, it'll finish up within a couple of seconds, as we saw. Okay? How about we review a snapshot of all these 5 concepts real quick? The 5 virus prevention keys are: number 1, antivirus; number 2, firewall; number 3, Windows updates; number 4, proper email management; and number 5, what we demonstrated, which was scanning the file for any viruses. Okay? Furthermore, if you employ these easy steps, you will reduce your computer's chance of becoming infected by up to a margin of 90%, and can forget about being that unfortunate statistic of that individual that we heard of in the beginning of the speech. That's it.